Hello, my name is Creostix, and welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. The previous episode was a lot of just card opening, real world talk, and card wondering, and me explaining the cards mostly to myself. But I think it was interesting convo, at least I felt interested by it, and I hope it was cool vibes at least, if not very combat heavy. With that said, though, let's dive into our first alchemy play of the recording of the video. So I'm still streaming off the previous run, but or the previous. I'm still streaming with the previous stream that was the same as the previous magic video, if that makes sense. So all that stuff. Interestingly long wait time. Usually it doesn't take even half this long. There you go. Okie doke. Okay, so I previously had, I think, 2 wins in a row. 3 wins seems unlikely, but you always just go for it and hope. Not a horrible start. 3 mana in any sense is a decent ratio. Okay. I almost never mulligan. Just because if it doesn't, if it's not gonna work out, then, you know. Okay, if I didn't have both colors in my starting hand, I would have probably gone with Broker's Hideout instead. Swamp is what they start with, okay. Shambling Ghast. When it dies, choose either a target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until the end of turn, or create a treasure token. It's not a complex card, but some really solid decks use it anyway. I've had those bite me in the behind so hard. Ooh. Honestly, do I? Yes. I think I should pull 1 more mana before I try, because if I remain in only 3 mana, I could be in a drought. It's a bit risky, but yeah. Probably, maybe, like, again, I'm not a tactician expert on this one, it's just, you know. Reality Chip. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as a reality chip is attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Reconfiguring is 3 mana. Alright. I'm thinking put in a Plains. That tends to be the more useful card of the bunch. No, this one we need to drop to the bottom, though. Okay, I'm thinking... I'm thinking attack with both. And fortify drought with the other one. Oh, no. Fortified drought... Well, actually... I can kill it, though. There you go. Yeah, I think it works. It's not a, like... Not an expert is the long and short of all of this, but it seems like this is not a horrible idea. My main minus here is I don't really have very strong cards to use in the future now. Reaper's Talisman. Whenever equipped creature attacks, it gains Death Touch until the end of turn. Whenever equipped creature attacks alone, defending player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Doomed Dissenter. When Doomed Dissenter dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Yeah, these are tough boys all around for sure. Alright. Yeah, okay. It's not a perfect thing to use, but okay. Oh, that's a bug. I've seen that happen before. It just goes to the bottom anyway. That's very, very fascinating, because I did not put that card onto the bottom. For some reason, the Titanous growth goes to the bottom, even if you don't scry it go to the bottom. It's very, very weird. Alright. And now... I do that much. Yeah, I've had that happen once before, where that, you know, the draw cards card gets dropped to the bottom of the, deck when I scry, even though I did not, put it to the bottom. It's very strange. I had that happen once before already in a bot match, so the update apparently glitched the scry thing out. But only for that card. It's very strange. I don't understand how that even happens. That's what? Death Touch enters the battlefield. Exile this way. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Right. Okay, that's a Death Touch boy, so I should probably put this here. Nah, sure. I'll need to check the recording, like, what did the game do? Or did I just misclick it or something? It's very strange how that goes. Okay, so if I get anything through in the next turn... Well, not really, but... We have a chance, is more or less the thing here. Other zombies you control get +1/+0. Alright. Right, and then the Reaper's Talisman goes back again to that. And he's going to attack alone again. Right. Yeah, because the equipment didn't go away when that... Yeah, makes sense. Another reality chip. So yeah, I could kill it. I don't think it's worth sacrificing any of my creatures, though. Alrighty, Oh, they left. Okay, honestly, I think he could have continued the game for at least a couple of turns, and he could have gotten lucky, but... Because I wasn't super confident. It could have gone very weirdly still. But hey, win is a win. Mastery Orb. I'll maybe see about the Mastery Orb a little bit later. We'll see. But cool. Alrighty, that is a win. Okay, so yeah, I'll need to try to find, because I'm pretty sure I'll need to be very, very on point about that scry, and I keep forgetting the name of that card. Let's check that once more. Colossal Majesty. Like, maybe I just misclicked it, but I'm pretty sure what happened, and this would be the second time it's happened, because it happened to me earlier, either today or yesterday when I played on my own, that it goes to the bottom of your deck, even though I scried it to be at the top. That's a really, really nasty glitch, if that's a glitch. But yeah, so in the mastery bits with the orbs and so on, I really like my avatar more than any of Will, Lae'zel, Astarion, Gale, and Shadowheart. But yeah, I got from the packs in like 3 in a row. First Astarion, then Will, and then Shadowheart. Like, what the That was weird and amazing. But yeah, I really like the avatar I got. Like, I could aim to get 2 avatars without paying any money, because I think I get 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe that's the. Hold on, I can check. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5 is what you get. So basically, common, avatar, uncommon, rare, another different rare, and then 1 mythic to be full art card style. So I don't think I'll be paying for the mastery tree, because again, I can't afford this stuff. But so whether it's ancient copper, ancient bronze, ancient gold, ancient silver, or game, please. Uh, Come on. Or ancient brass dragon, it probably won't matter. The other bits are more important. So yeah, Shadowheart here, which I actually, I have Shadowheart, which may be an important detail. Here's Imoen, which is from the games. That does help, but I don't play blue. Clement, Novice Acolyte. Wilson, Bear Comrade. Karlach, Raging Tiefling. Gardum, Patron of Flames. Gate to Tumbletown. What does all of this like? Okay, Swamp Gate. Gate of the Black Dragon enters the battlefield tapped. 4 mana, and tap to seek a non-land card, activate only once, or just add mana. Seeking is pretty good though. Put 1 at random from your library into your hand. Oh, it's a random card. Okay, so but how is it different than draw then? Well, I guess it's not from the top, but randomly. But if you don't know that, sure, yeah, okay, it's still different. Sure, that's true. Okay, what like what white stuff is there? Uh, Again, seek. Yeah, the gates are all the same, just different cards, different colors. Um, Vladimir and Godfrey, Rejuvenation. For 3 mana, return Vladimir and Godfrey from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. It perpetually gets +1/+1. Activate only if you control a 1/1 creature. Interesting. Not super useful. When Clement at least, again, I don't really understand the use of super well. When Clement Novice Acolyte enters the battlefield, creature cards in your hand perpetually gets +1/+1. That's actually kind of cool. And specializing gives all of these different things then. Boon with cast your next creature spell. That creature enters the battlefield life link. Seek 3 non-land permanent cards. Choose one of those and shuffle the rest in your library. Create 2 and 2 black zombie creatures. When it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target. Nature Acolyte leaves the battlefield, create a 4/4 green ox creature token. Interesting things. I'm wondering, like, does it matter what colors of mana it is if you've specialized it? Like, if you don't use land cards that have, like, blue, for example, can it be a problem? Can this be, like, put back into your hand as the Knowledge Acolyte, and then that be a problem, maybe? Not sure. Specialize 2. 2 mana. Choose a color, discard a card of that color or associated basic land type. This creature perpetually specializes into that color. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, discarding a card of that color. Okay. Or associated that changes things. So it's more expensive in a way. Doesn't make it bad, but that's news to me. Okay, that's really good to know. Green is reach, trample, ward, a more special. Reading all of the specializing would take a long time, so let's just keep going. Oh wow, Oya Minartok Polar Werebear. That's a really cool look, though. That's for sure. Gotta admit. Has hexproof if it hasn't dealt damage yet. Whenever Oya Minartok deals combat damage to a player, create a food token. 1 mana to sacrifice a food, draft a card from Oya Minartok's spellbook of 60 different spells. When you do, add 3 mana. Spend this mana only to cast blue creature spells. Fascinating. Blue creature spells indeed. That's a really cool set of visuals to have, though. Like, it's only in this card, yeah, but still, I find it fun. The green route is looking more and more interesting to me. Flaming Fist Officer. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Flaming Fist Officer. Wouldn't use it in my main white-green healing deck, but it's interesting. Ambitious Dragonborn. Ambitious Dragonborn enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control and creature cards in the graveyard. Oh! That's kind of fun, too. I'm leaning towards green right now, at least. But I won't make a choice yet. I want to really take my time. But I'm leaning green, but let's see how it all turns out. Because I don't think I'll buy it. The Mastery Tree, it's expensive, and I don't have enough gems. And anyway, like, all the gems I have are only the ones I've gotten from daily deals. I haven't spent a single money in, like, inside this software. Way years ago, I did buy a few of the Planeswalker decks, so that's fair. So I've spent money to the game in that sense. But I still got the physical cards, and that was the fun bit, like, years ago. So I don't know. Dumb person is dumb. Alright, let's game. Alchemy play. Now I've won, I think, 3 in a row, so it's probably high time for me to lose. We'll see. We will see. Heramish, okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's a... One card to the bottom of... Yeah, like, drawing 2 Trelasaras, like, unless they remove 1, that's a really problematic time. But other than that, I'll keep them because it's the perfect mana amount for a good game, and I have a pretty clear, like, strategy of Cleric class, Orator, and then Trelasara. So it's like, I gotta, you know? Well, I don't have to, but point being, like, it's a sensible thing to try. But it looks like they're going white as well, which means they probably won't remove Trelasara. I mean, you know, it's... They might still Ah, white and red though. Yeah, maybe. Okay, okay. We're in business. We're doing business. All right. Okay. So. Yeah. Here. Let's do it this way. Beskir Shieldmate. When it dies, create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Okay, let's start with this. Enduring Angel. Do I have enough mana to pull it off? I actually... one, two... Yes, I do. Okay, okay, yeah, we can pull that. Okay, sure. Eventually. So instead of that, let's do this. 2 and 1, no. Dancing Sword gets plus 2% including creature dies. You may have Dancing Sword become a 2 and 1 flying creature, and so on and so on. Okay. So when it dies, create a 1/1 human creature. There's reason to actually sacrifice Trelasara because I have another one. It's not an awesome thing to do, but let's. Just because otherwise I'll have the dead card for no good reason, you know? It's a weird move. I just wanted to see how it works. It was probably dumb. I'm not a good player. Probably a dumb move, but I'm so scared of having a dead card in my hand, you know? I really, really hate the idea, you know? It's just, it annoys me to no end, you know? Yeah, sure. Voice of the Blessed is a good start. Or a good card to get there, so... Let's... Oh! Oh, that's the... Oh, God, now I understand why I didn't... Oh! Now I know what made... Oh! It wasn't a glitch when I thought that the... Right. I understand now. It wasn't a glitch when, the Scryed card didn't bring back the one I was looking for. I shuffled the deck with the land thing. That's what happened. Now I understand. Okay. Okay, I'm so glad it wasn't a glitch though, and now I know to be aware of that. Oh, okay. Alright, okay, okay. Alright, we learned something today. Learning is good. Alright, cool. Excellent. Lovely. Four, four, three, two. Alright. Alright, so mistakes have been made, but at least I learned from it, you know? Yep, they have good removal. That's perfectly fine. Okay, Lunarch Veteran, or do I bring something back? Let's see. What do I got I could want to bring back? Impassioned Orator, Innkeeper, either or. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. Alright. This is so far working not horribly. Righteous Valkyrie is a decent card to get. That's fine. Okay, cool. Alright. So I'm making mistakes, but so far the deck has been bailing me out a little bit. But 30 and 6, but it's far from over. These things have a tendency of turning around. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control without probably paying its mana cost or something. I kind of didn't quite get enough to... Alright, go for it. So yeah, now it's a double strike. Creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control, target creature you control. Okay, so just move around your equipment, basically, is what you can do if you want to. Alright. But I can end the game with this. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until the end of turn. Boom. It's over. Boom. Hell yeah! I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if I would have lost 4 in a row, I would have been F-bombing and being all sorts of an angry man or angry boy, depending on how one looks at these things in like mental age and so on. So, but I can't complain. I've had 4 wins in a row, because I started this, like, if you're watching on YouTube, the previous video is the same stream I'm still on now, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, the minimum like idea I had for today's stream was 5 wins, and now I'm 1 win away from that. So I probably need a number like getting the 5th winner in a row sounds a little unlikely. So let's just just set in a good vibe of we're probably not gonna win the next one, but eventually we'll get there with just controlling our mind and body and just having a good vibe about this. Yes. So yeah, if you're wondering like what kind of deck am I using, I explained it out in detail in the previous video you can find on YouTube on my channel. So I don't want to use the same amount of time to do this to do that all over again, just because for people watching who want to see some matches. So there you go. And here we go. Alrighty. Interestingly, it takes a bunch of time to get a map. Like, not like a lot, but usually it's a bit quicker. Apparently, for some reason, there's not a lot of people playing maybe Alchemy right now in this time of the clock. Ooh, okay. This can go a number of ways. If I don't get more mana, it's game over. But the other bits of cards are... There's promise in this. But I need to get luckier. I need both... Let's start with this, because the first turn I couldn't put anything on the field anyway, and it has to be plains. We may have to concede, though, because if we don't get both mana and someone to actually bring life in, we lose. Like, it's over. Doesn't look super good. Alright, None of this is Let's start with Trelasara, because we could at least, with Fortifying Draught, force a life in there to scry something better if it comes down to it. Understanding that they can murder the card away, but, you know, risks just happen in life. A lot of Death Touch is what they're doing, yeah. Ooh, yeah, not great luck, huh? Alright, draw a card. Yeah, this is a loss. It's really hard to see this turning around. Because I have nothing that brings life. When that's not a thing, how do you even approach this, you know? I mean, I try this. It brings 1 life, it lets me scry. Ooh, I have, like, that is a horrible, I mean, I won 4 in a row. The luck had to be terrible eventually, but yeah, that's horrible luck. Like, this card is really good, but not now. I need something that brings consistently life, and I have nothing that does that. Yep, they are very consistently Death Touch. Equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyards. Right, okay. Yeah, I really can't block any of that. Death Touch is bad news, so that's a fair thing to do. Yeah, nothing going on. Nothing going on, unfortunately. What did I even scry the previous one? Oh yeah, the heavy whatchamacallit. I think we can probably call it though. Like, we can't do anything with this. Yeah, that'll work. But I think it's too late. Oh boy. This is kind of useless, so I think I can do this. Alright. It might still be too late for me to win this, but at least we have a... Oh, Enduring Angel. This could save me the game. Oh my goodness. Maybe. Just maybe. Oh boy. I don't know if it's enough, but maybe. They'll probably remove the Righteous Valkyrie when the game, and then the game for me just goes down the cliff again, but... Yeah. Okay. So, I have 11, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I gotta use this now and just hope it's enough. Alright. Okay, yeah, it's over. It's over. I think I can just call it now. I mean, I have a discard cards deck myself, so it's a choice to make, but discarding cards is such an annoying piece of shit move. But I've done it too, so it's an annoying piece of shit move we can all choose to do. So, you know. I mean, yes, it should be removed from the game as a mechanic, but it's still a choice you can do to live that life. I mean, if I hate it so much, then maybe I should live a life where I only choose to play as this, force people to empty their hands and they can never play the game again. It's really a thing that shouldn't be in the game, but what you gonna do? It's in the game and just the devs don't care. Okay, start planes, go here. But yeah, I mean, we had 4 wins in a row. One had to go to hell already, and it did. Oh, that's a really... it's a cool looking land, but it's also a terrible idea because it doesn't tell the opponent what the land does. Like, if the opponent doesn't know what snow-covered swamp does, then, like, this shouldn't be a thing. Like, I've been an annoyed boy today, well, in the previous match, but this shouldn't be a thing. Like, the cards should tell the player what they do. Actually, so my card doesn't do it either. Okay, that's fair. I didn't know that my... Okay, full art lands should show the player what the cards do. That's my point. Like, it really should. Alright, let's do a green land. And do this. Sorry, I didn't realize that my full art lands don't tell that, you know, use this to add... Like, snow-covered swamp should tell. Like, I know it's a snow land that it gives black mana. Oh, Blade of the Oni is a really terrible, like, a terrible card for me. Equipped creature has base power and toughness of 5/5, has menace, and is a black demon in addition to its other colors and types, reconfigured 3. That is, like, I feel that's overpowered. Like, I really got blown away how overpowered that card, in my opinion, is. I was like, wait, what? Like, it's... So it has to be blocked by at least 2 people, and it makes a 5/5 plus whatever it is of all the other things. Like, it's absolute madness. Okay, I think I'll just attack with the Innkeeper, because I want to remove that Blade of the Oni from the game, so... If you block with it, that's cool. Poet's Quill. When Poet's Quill enters the battlefield, learn, so, you know, add million billion cards from outside the game into the whole thing. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and lifelink. Alright. Okay. So I think first we do this. And draw whatever happens to... Oh, that's actually not a terrible card to draw. Cool. Like, it could be a lot worse, let's put it that way. Right. And then we put this. Add forest or... ooh. It doesn't really matter, I think. Right. This is the weird match thus far. and then they murder the Righteous Valkyrie. That's always what happens when they're like looking at a card. Whenever someone like highlights your card, it always means that it gets destroyed. Yep. Every time. Every single time. Bond of Discipline, a very, very weird card and a very, very weird time, huh? Okay. Can't do much else than this. But eventually I can bring back the Righteous Valkyrie when I level it up once more, so... Strange match continues to be strange. Again, Lunar Veteran is going in 3-2-1. That's what that always means. Every time. Oh no, it did that instead. Okay. That works too. I think I should have been able to level up the cleric class, but I couldn't. Why? I had the mana for it. Oh, level 3. Oh, they exiled the wrong one. Wow. That's weird. That is very weird. As Predator has in the battlefield, choose a permanent in your control. When the chosen permanent is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, conjure a card named Predator Sludge into your hand. Okay, and they've chosen apparently not that one. Okay, so... Okay. Alright. Man, those spellbook cards are just intimidating, you know? Gelatinous Cube, exile target non-use creature, yeah, makes sense. This is a tough, long match. It's gonna take a while. Yay! I think I just needed to again add the counters to the Innkeeper and the Lunark Veteran to be able to attack that turn with maximum attack, and then basically keep on doing what I'm doing. And if all of those three would have been on the battlefield, then use Bond of Discipline the next turn and go. Man, that was intense. Like, it wasn't super like big booms and flashy, but it used like I'm always intimidated by like those, you know, craft from spellbook of 15 different spells and a lot of control and destroying, which is like it can be a huge problem for me. So hell yeah. Okay. Whew. All right. We got a card. It's almost always common or uncommon, I think, but it has a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of a chance to be better. But more importantly, I think I'm like the happy thing you can really hope for is get a common or uncommon that's either fun or especially if it's useful. My third cleric class, I think, was one of these, and I was like, ooh, literally into my deck something from these. That's awesome. So let's see what. But again, it's a huge, huge lucky thing. So let's just see. Uncommon, cool. Reclusive taxidermist. Human druid. Reclusive taxidermist gets +3/+2 as long as there are 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard. And tap to add 1 mana of any color. I'm always fascinated by like if you have those creatures that add mana because they can be really useful. That's pretty fun. Like if I like focus one of these days into a deck that does, you know, huge creatures and get mana quickly, that sounds like a good idea to me. Alrighty. That's pretty cool. I can't complain about that. That's nice. That is nice. Alrighty. Ah, man. I'm still wondering about that, like the mastery orb is really, really, really just man, I wish I had someone just like explaining the ins and outs of like what's really or throwing back and forth ideas rather the ins and outs of what's the most sensible card styles to try and go for with these. Like if I wanted only card styles and no avatars, I suppose I could just go for the commons at the bottoms, but that doesn't seem like the sensible bit because the uncommons and rares and such, they're much more expensive. And I mean, what's the most cool avatar of these? Honestly, it might be Lae'zel. Like, she has a cool, interesting look. Astarion is, like, it's an elven-looking vampire, but there's something a little, I don't know. Those puffy, like, doublet sleeves just, they don't work for me, and the hair is kind of meh. I mean, I wouldn't say it to his face. He would probably just like chew my head off. But still, you know, like I'm looking more like in a vampire to look more like well Detloff from Witcher 3 or Alucard, which is I think a half vampire, but still from Castlevania. But well, or even from Helsing, either or really. Both are really cool looking. Gale, like the human white avatars, the characters, they're always so simple. It's a guy. The guy has some clothes and basic normal colored hair. Like yeah, it has some lightning, but it's some lightning going, but it's still like it's so boring. Like even this is more exciting than him. And this is not as such exciting. It's you know, fun ears, interesting breastplate thing going, but still. And Shadowheart at least is the cool name. From the humans, I think this is the most like elegant and cool looking. So I think from avatars, I think I'd go Will, which is a really weird thing to say because I mean I'm a goth metal guy and the vampire is not as exciting, but it's just all sorts of well I think it's a vampire. I think it says something in it's a or not. Okay. Well, I mean I have that card. I think it was vampire maybe. But yeah, it doesn't work for me. Like she's the coolest and this is the coolest guy. Like the haha like elegant rapier guy like Raphael from Soul Calibur is that's a decent thing. So that's like the best avatar, but I do play some red. I like my other playing deck is black red. Haste, whenever Cardum, Patron of Flame, attacks, put a flame counter on it, then seek a card with mana value equal to the number of flame counters on it and exile that card face down. When Cardum dies, put all cards you own exiled with it into your hand. At the beginning of the end step of your next turn, discard those cards. Okay, so basically you can... And again, Seeking is random, but it can be useful. So you need to essentially gain enough mana to be able to cast those cards in one turn. When this dies, you may have to, like, sacrifice this somehow in the end. But yeah, okay. That's interesting. Karlach. Rage Beyond Death. Specialize 6. You may also activate this ability if Karlach Raging Tiefling is in your graveyard. Well, that's something. First strike 2/2. Specializing, I wonder if it's my thing. Especially 6, like, Jesus Christ. Shadowheart is a cooler look than... Man, I hope I played more blue, because I think Imoen is the one I recognize from the Baldur's Gate game, so having like a card style for Imoen sounds cool, but I really despise blue, and I would be a hypocrite if I played blue myself, you know? Like, blue control is just like, it's the color where no one plays the game. You know, blue is the color where you decide to just make your opponent not be able to play the game, and then that's the game. No one plays the game, and that's how Magic with blue is played. Like, yay. It feels like a troll tactic, and it really is. And it really shouldn't be a color to begin with. Like, maybe instead have blue just be a lot of just water creatures and flying creatures, I think originally, or most of the creatures in it are. But it's the control thing, and control just... If I ever made a card game, I would make one that doesn't have control types in it at all. It's just like strategy against strategy, go. Like, imagine just having to play, essentially, green and white against each other, just hard, pure strategy until it goes. Like, and essentially those archetypes, you know? There's no control, no one just prevents the game from happening with blue, you know? It's no longer that strict, of course. The game is so big that blue has legit just creature-focused thing, you know, merfolk and whatever, and vice versa. Black and even white and so on have control cards in there, like, you know, discard these cards here and enchant this to not be able to attack or block. It is a thing, but still. The gate to citadels are... the gate to citadel might be a reason. Like, if I do green or white, usually, this could be a decent reason. And the Oya Minartok was so cool. Like, if I should maybe open more and more packs. If I get Oya Minartok from the packs, it might be a really, really solid reason to go for the green route. It would give me a not useful avatar for me, but I like my avatar so much anyway that it might not be a problem. Like, yes, if I choose one of these 5, I'd love to get Will. He's the coolest boy of these, because Lae'zel is the coolest character, which is not a boy, but still. So, man, these are hard choices. Hard choices. I didn't fully understand the Vladimir and Godfrey, but Rejuvenation. 3 mana to return Vladimir and Godfrey from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Right? It perpetually gets +1/+1, activate only if you control a 1/1 creature. Okay. Zombie Knight 3/2. It's interesting. It, you know, it brings back the thing, but it doesn't synergize with anything I have going on. I have no zombies or knights in my white ideas of what to do with decks. So in its own vacuum, yes, it's cool to be able to bring it back from the dead, but it's a pretty basic 3 and 2. I don't know. I mean, perpetually +1/+1 is a decent thing, but it's... The Clement thing didn't really speak to me. It looks kind of foolish. Again, I shouldn't do visual, like, because who cares about looks if the card is really solid, but I don't know. This didn't really speak to me, I think. And can't get this far if I don't pay money, so... Because 5 orbs, no more. So the dragon shouldn't be a thing. Or shouldn't be a reason to, like, what to do. Jin Noble. Callum's Breath. Discard Callum. Tap up to 1 target non-land permanent to draw a card. Then you may exile 2 other cards named Callum Jin Emperor from your graveyard. When you do, return Callum from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. When you discard Callum, conjure a card named Callum Jin Emperor into your library 7th from the top. Whoa, okay, what? That's so much text. Conjure a card named Callum Jin Emperor. So it's the same thing, right? So you discard the thing, tap up to 1 target non-land permanent and draw a card. Then you may exile 2 other cards named Callum Jin Emperor from your graveyard. When you do, return Callum from your graveyard to... Man, that's complicated. So you... Okay. You use 2 mana to discard this from your hand, right? You tap something from the field. It doesn't have to be your own, so you can tap an opponent's card. You draw a card. Then you may exile 2 other cards, which is, it's again, like, if you have 2 other Callum Jin Emperors in your graveyard, you can exile them. When you do, return Callum from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Which is fine, because you've discarded this one, so there isn't one in the field yet. That's at least the idea. And the other 2 are already in the graveyard as well. But, when you discard Callum, conjure a card named again, a copy of this one, into your library 7th from the top. So you keep creating this same card into the field. Okay, so the idea apparently is that if you really perfectly get lucky, you may be able to get a 5/6 flying with Ward 2 into the battlefield on an earlier turn than you otherwise would. But if you're really, like, gargantually lucky, that's what I'm, like getting from this. But I'm even not sure about that one. Man, this is weird. But that's what I'm getting from this, basically. It's a very complicated thing to wrap your head around. Okay, cool. Alright. The Hourglass Coven. When the Hourglass Coven enters the battlefield, draft a card from the Hourglass Coven spellbook twice. The usual, just spellbook a lot of cards, and just, they do stuff. Other warlocks you control get +1/+1. 6 mana. Right. Expensive is expensive. Gate to the Black Dragon, and then this. We've been through this, and then the last one is again a Mythic Dragon, as all the last ones are. I haven't really gone through the lower bits. Molting Exoskeleton, when Hook Horror dies, it perpetually gets -1/-1. Then that card's toughness is 1 or greater, return to the battlefield under its owner's control. Very expensive for not really useful. Weird. I'm probably not understanding the use here, but this seems weird. 5 mana for a 3/3 card. And if it dies, it becomes weaker. but it comes back. Yeah, okay, sure. Dragonborn Looter, Dragon Rogue, draw a card, then discard a card. I have this one. I do have this one. If that, like, it does mean something if I have that, I think. This one we saw already in a, or I think I did. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Flaming Fist Officer. This is decently interesting. Plus, at least the Flaming Fist Officer is a word salad that I recognize from Baldur's Gate games. Although I believe those were all humans, not gnomes. Like, it doesn't, but it just, it... How can I put this? I'm perfectly cool having gnomes as Flaming Fist officers, but it doesn't feel familiar to Baldur's Gate 2 for me, if that makes any sense. Yeah, this one I saw, and this was actually pretty cool. This was pretty cool. Giant Fire Beetle's Menace. This looks so suspicious. Like, what's the beetle in the behind about to do, you know? It's that. Okay, so this is pretty cool. This is really cool. The Ambitious Dragonborn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I want... Damn, this is hard. Yeah, and the Wilson Bear Comrade is a specializing bear. Reach, trample, that sort of stuff. This is a really, really, really tough choice. Like, I'm leaning more and more towards getting either, yeah, the red and green seem the most obvious choices. The other ones I'm leaning more and more away from. So the green has the cooler cards I kind of want, but the red has the cooler avatar I kind of want. But I probably won't end up using Will anyway. So probably the good choice is just going green. I really might even use Ambitious Dragonborn in something, and it just looks cool. And I like the ability. This is the coolest avatar, I just won't use it because I rarely use female avatars and stuff. Maybe I should. I don't know. Gate to Manorborn. Any of the land bits of these are good. That I just happen to have colors that I use. And I use green and white. So yes, sure. This was so... like, it just looks fun. I don't know if I'll use it, but it's so fun looking. I like it. It's just... man. Wilson, not as fun. It's more like, whatever. But it's a... so, sensibility suggests that I should take it instead of the giant fire beetles. Just because it's, you know... commons are less valuable in card styles. But yeah, I'm leaning towards green. But I might actually do... fire beetles will... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I do that, then I can't get Oya Martok. That sucks. I need to think on this even more. I have to think on this even more. Because if I'm honest, Gardum Patron of Flames is a metal dragon. Demon, though. I have to admit, though. The eye patch polar bear is cool and all, but this boy is metal. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one is the one oddity is that I'm not very much into Karlach Raging Tiefling. That's the one bit here. But again, Ambitious Dragonborn as the final 5th orb to be put here is probably not sensible because it's a cheaper thing. Yeah, green or red. There's good reasons. Metal, 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 and fun is basically. Fun looking and metal looking. I honestly, this looks so cool. I kind of probably have to go here eventually. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the final choice is either the not useful to me. Looks like really expensive specializing. I don't know. Or the fun but economically less sensible choice of ambitious Dragonborn. Either or those. But yeah, I'm I think I've gotten into a pretty good like a narrowing of my options. I'll need to worry about the rest later. Cool. Okay, let's do one more game. I'm wondering if I should do like one ranked game as well, because eventually I have to do at least one. Because opening up the ranked bit will eventually let me get that one pack per month, which is good. Ooh. Yeah, this looks good. Again, 3 mana is good, and I have a life giver and a life user. One to draw cards and one to control the opponent's stuff. That's a... This has potential. But, you know, everything can go to hell, but we'll see. We'll see. And I hope my tangents and wonderings about the mastery tree isn't super horrible to watch or listen to. I just, you know, sometimes I have to just look and wonder about stuff. Sorry. Okay, so Forest in, Moon Dancer in, Scry. Valkyrie is a good choice. I probably should keep it. Probably should. Like, there's risk there involved, but still. Especially when I can't scry anymore after that. It could have been like a land and I would be just like lost with not getting much more of stuff, you know? Oh, there's the taxidermist. Cool. Fun. Alright, let's put Rune of Sustenance in to Righteous Valkyrie. We drew a land, not a great pull, but so it goes. It's still anyone's game, because if I get unlucky, I just don't get anything from any of this, you know? Like, if I don't pull another good priest to utilize the veteran's healing, it just, what do I do, you know? Whenever combat damage treasure token, yeah. Well, let's see how this goes. The Bond of Discipline is interesting because I might be able to, I think, make the Hallowed Priest into a 4/4, which then lets me draw 2 cards. It's a weird way to think about this, but it might be the right way to... Because Actually, I don't know if I draw life twice, unless he probably kills the Lunak veteran now, or the other one. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. Okie dokie. I can bring it back, but it still kind of does the same, you know. We remain in the same question, I suppose. Yeah, very, 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 very weird game. I don't think I'm gonna win this, but it's still very much... It's still up in the air a little bit. He has more cards and a lot more just hard damage and all that, so he probably gets the win. But actually, at least I can now test the idea that I just now had. Will it become a 4-4 or just a 3-3? 4-4, okay. It's good to know. It's good to know. If we're gonna lose, at least we learned an interesting factoid about how that works. They're probably gonna still kill the Hallowed Priest, so that I don't get anything, but, you know, still. Interesting to know. And I mean, again, I won 4 in a row not too long ago, so if I now lose 2 in 3, that's just magic. Like, you can't imagine, like, you can't think that you're gonna win any more than, like, 4. Sorry, mind numbers. That you're gonna win any more than 50%-ish, you know? You gotta just... Wow, that is a bad pull. Mind you, yes, I've added way too much mana into this, but it's there because I keep constantly being mana draughted without that. So, what you gonna do? I'll just risk it. Why not? I'll give up. I can't win. And I don't think I ever had a chance. We're just wasting time at some point, you know? We can't do that. Igwilv creating namesake Demonomicon. Okay. I'm thinking I probably won't sleep today. Like, it's getting early/late enough that it doesn't sound sensible. The eternal question... Well, I mean, I sort of kind of have 3 mana, though. Yeah, okay. But only if... Yeah, this has the potential to go really bad really quickly, for sure. We'll see. It looks like he might be doing a mirror match as well. Yeah. I tend to play just really unlucky games against mirror matches, but now we're gonna find out if it's happening again. Rumor Gatherer, Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, draw a card instead. Whoa! I may have to craft that card and add it to my library. My goodness. Okay, yeah, because that I think that means he wins the game. I can't compete against that. Wow, that is overpowered, but I guess there's the silver lining that I can use that card as well. But man, that is wow.
Selene Dufresne. Selene Davidar.
Marky! Holy effing moliness! My goodness, hello! Welcome, glad to have you here, and damn, thank you for the raid. I'm trying to get a... Okay, do I attack or do I not? He asked more to lose, sure. Hi! Welcome! Everyone from Marky's stream. I'm trying to get a... Oh boy. Oh, goddamn. Ah, there we are. Thank you for the raid! Did you enjoy playing Weapons of Wanted Weapons of Fate? Thank you, my goodness. Hello, my name is Kriostix. I am a streamer from Finland who is really bad at Magic. I play basically anything, oftentimes usually single-player story-based games, but I sometimes dabble in Magic the Gathering because I love pain, apparently. So, hi. I have weird opinions, but I try to at least word them out sensibly. And I have a YouTube channel as well. If you feel like watching, every single view and all of that stuff is super. Just it actually helps. I'm a YouTube partner, so it actually helps with real ad revenue and all of that stuff. So I hope you have all had an excellent day, and I hope you will not hate me for having a terrible set of abilities and luck in in playing this game. So hello everyone and all of that stuff. Let's put that there. And that there. Let's add a white. I'm trying to focus on two things at a time. Give me a. I hope it's not coming across as rude. Haven't played Magic since a friend tried teaching me in school. Yeah, I am not good. Like I've played maybe 22 matches in the real world, and in Magic the Gathering Arena I've played maybe I don't know. Let's say, well, I guessed the number earlier today. Between 80 and 100 matches, maybe, or I've won that many. Yes, let's put it that way. Attacking with 1/1 death touch. Yeah, no. But yeah, you enjoyed it and just beat it. Okay, cool. I don't remember Wanted. Was Wanted Weapons of Fate the one where you like bend the bullets or something? Is that the one? I'm really drawing a blank. It's it's like I feel like I remember the cover art or something. If that's the one, that is an old school pull for sure. Okie dokie. Man, this match is going weirdly places. After the movie. Yeah. I haven't seen the movie either. But there we are. Yeah, this is really going. This game is, oh boy. This match is ooh. They're really ganking their people on me. I don't think yeah. Yeah, all kinds of nope. Nah. Yeah, I'm probably losing this one. I could still get super lucky, but I don't really feel that's gonna happen. Yeah, the Rumor Gatherer is something I may have to consider adding. Ooh, really unlucky pulls as well all the time. Like, no land and nothing that actually I can use. That's super, super, super not good. Well, that is a land. I guess that counts. Right, I need a plains. Although I probably doesn't matter. I'm gonna lose this anyway. But yeah, a lot of my viewers said they didn't know they made it. Yeah, I remember a connection to a movie. I just didn't know if the movie or game happened first. So, do any of them have reach? No. Okay. But yeah, so this match is going down the cliff. I guess there's still a chance, but not a big chance. Just they are all about those just counters, drawing cards, yeah. Scrying, drawing, all of that. Oh boyo. Yeah, it's over. I think they're gonna... This might be the last turn I'm even alive. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17... Yeah. Not a great day, huh? 10, 17, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, I kinda gotta basically block that. And hope it somehow works out. The game has this glitch of losing its sound effects when there's a lot of creatures on the screen. It's kind of weird. Okay. Like, this is not like my capture software being bad. The game just does this. Okay. I think Enduring Angel is my one chance of trying to get this done. But yeah, unfortunately I just don't have any luck with this. Like, I would have needed another Voice of the Blessed about 5 cards ago, so... What you gonna do? Okay. They still don't have any flyers, which is something, so I think not a horrible option is going for this. But yeah, this game is basically over. My one thing is that they maybe don't know what Enduring Angel really does, but I think I still won't be able to win with the like following turn. It's just gonna continue to put the game further one turn, you know? Whenever you attack with one or more creatures, create that many 1/1 Queen and White Resident Teacher tokens. Yeah, they got perfect luck and I got horrible luck. So, yeah. So they add people basically like beyond breaking the game. Like this, like all of this mechanics just shouldn't be a thing. Like it breaks the game so hard. RNG, but it's more than that. It's RNG, and I have no like. I have an aura in all of this. Like, be it Twitch, be it games, be it Magic, whatever. There's like a negative -20 of luck, where everyone else sits at like a neutral 0, right? And then you quote unquote build your own luck with like +2 or whatever if you like really go for it in life. I have a -20 like all the time. And then so I kind of shouldn't probably be playing this because there's no chance of having fun while playing Magic. So it's kind of like I guess it's like a question of self torture, you know? So it's all that, you know? Okie dokie. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that the game just decided to basically screw me over from having a decent match. It's just, it's pretty nasty. Alright. I mean, I still can't win this. It's a cool turn and everything, but it's just, you know. Because he can do a lot of damage to my end, which will then remove essentially all of the power and toughness the Angelic Enforcer has, so I can't then defeat them in the next turn. So if that turn didn't do the trick, then there's nothing to be done. That's kind of the problem, you know? Time to make decisions. Oh yeah, they're doing their like endless endless rolls of all of this. So, you know, that's all of the lovely, you know. Okay, so 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 26, 28. Okay, cool. We can go. Bye. Fuck you too. Okay, they're just gonna... Yeah, where... Oh, I was about to Alt F4 because they kind of screwed up the game to not be able to let me concede. They can go die in a fire with that game-breaking mechanic. Not only does it break the game of being fun, it breaks the game of having sound effects. That means they probably should be removing the mechanic from the game, you know? That's just a little trick of the trade. So if your game can't handle the mechanic the decks do, then maybe nerf them to hell. Like, you know, just maybe. And I lose my temper at this game so easily and so hard. That's my character flaw. I can't help it. I've tried to just improve myself on it. I've tried to meditate like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It just doesn't happen. I'm so sorry. I always just lose my temper so hard and so fast when all of that starts happening. When you can't play the game, it slows the game down completely. It feels like they're using essentially game-breaking mechanics where just like everything's 100, and they gain 76 million creatures, and you need to go for a coffee before you get a turn again, and then they do 7 million billion damage to you before you even get one guy into the thing. And it's all because they got super lucky and you didn't, and their mechanics just wouldn't work with you because you need to be lucky to get them to work. And you are not lucky, they are. I can't, like, my brain just snaps. I've tried improving my mood by just understanding that that's just how it all sometimes happens. Just be the person who can deal with it. I just, no. I think we can just concede here. Like, if I need to mulligan, I can't. Okay, let's imagine, like, what do I need to get somewhere? If I pull an innkeeper, then I can put that on the map on the second turn. And if I pull a priest that uses its heat... Yes, if I pull an innkeeper on the first turn, then we can play a game. If I can't, there's nothing to be done with this set. Nope, we're done. Nope, bye. Like, there's no percentage of being able to play a game there. We might as well not waste the time. But today, I won 4 games in a row earlier, so it's not all this, but just I need to recognize when a game has no chance of going places and just not waste everyone's time, you know? And the opponent got a win, which they're looking for anyway, so we all do the right thing, you know? And I mean, eventually, like, I always have slightly better luck when I don't stream. When I stream, it all goes to hell every game, so... Again, so why I'm doing this is a mystery to myself as well. Maybe I hope that my screaming and rambling F-bombs is fun to see. And again, I'm sorry if it's cringy. Yeah. Okay, it looks like they're probably doing a mirror match of my stuff. Although, I'm wondering why they use snow lands, but we'll see. Okay, what's the... Let's go with... This is a problematic hand because I have way too much... You've seen me now get land drawted like 5 times. Even though I believe I have 27 lands in my deck in some form, and I still never get enough, and when I get enough, I get way too much. Like, that's what I mean. Like, the card shuffler hates me with land. Like, I can't catch a break with it. Like, I'm always playing against both the player and the card shuffler, whereas the opponents are playing against me and just normal luck. It's so just... It's really disconcerting. Yeah, it's a mirror match, yeah. Which means I should probably quit already. I don't think I've ever won a mirror match. Like, even when mirror match decks have a clearly lesser deck than I do in terms of quality, they get lucky, I don't. And I might as well not play. I can prove it to you here. Alright, so the good choice is to go with Innkeeper first. And again, I'm sorry if my anger and toxic just being is not great to watch. I only can do and feel and vibe what's in my heart, and I lose my temper so quickly with this. And yeah, same thing. Alliance, and then they win the game. Yeah. This is actually a pretty good deck, though. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, they get Death Touch until the end of turn. If it's the second time this ability is resolved, all creatures you control gain Death Touch. Yeah, it's really good. Devila, hi, welcome, glad to have you. You're seeing suffering in its purest form, because I am both bad at this game and minus 20 luck every game, every match with this game. It's only horrible all the time. It's awesome. Okay, so Plains, Voice of the Blessed. And then they probably enchant the Voice of the Blessed to not be able to do anything, which is usually how this goes. Let's Scry, sure, yeah. Let's see what we can do. If it's not... Ooh, no. Oh, wow! Okay. I would have proven to you that they would have won, but they left the match before they could have... I had nothing going on. Those three, plus the priest, and nothing. If they remove, like, that one innkeeper, the whole game goes to hell with nothing happening, and then they just grind me down. Like... They would have won that match, I'm certain of it. Because I couldn't block anything because they death touch everything. I'll take it, but I think they conceded before that, like, they absolutely were in the position to win the game. But indeed, no matter how late one screams the raid bits, it's the raid messages, it's every moment is a good moment to scream for a previous raid. Yes. Ooh, if I win one more, I get a pack. I should probably try it, right? Let's try. Indeed, birds and ducks and everything. Yes. Ooh, man. Imagine trying to get 15 wins in a day. I think I did it once, but man, it took forever. And you need to be so lucky to ever get there. Okay, okay, so 2 of those. This has potential. Kami Bamboo Groves enters the battlefield. You may put a land card from your hand to the battlefield tapped. Channel, yeah, okay, so it's a, 1/1 add land. Alright. Worrying, but okay. Let's see how it goes. Right. Okay, the Orator was a good pull, because I can't get on the second turn an actually working forest land there. So this makes the deck, or the match potentially work. But it's still a question mark. And the reason I have this here and not something more powerful is I have maxed out sets of the more powerful cards of these, so... That's why. But I think they're gonna destroy the Orator anyway, so, you know. Okay. Okie dokie. So Orator and... But if I get the Valkyrie in there first... Okay, this is where I always struggle. I want to get the Voice of the Blessed on the field, but if I get the more expensive Righteous Valkyrie in there now, then I get more out of both of these. So this might be a mistake, but I think I want to get Valkyrie in there first. Or I should. I don't want to risk losing Impassioned Orator. They might have something that adds to the values of 1/1, and it's risky. So I don't, because they have a lot of mana. I don't want to risk it. Like, I play aggressive, but I don't want to play super reckless. Kami of Transmutation. Each permanent card in your hand perpetually becomes an artifact in addition to its other types, or each permanent card in your hand perpetually becomes an enchantment in addition. Okay, that sounds worrying. That means they have a very, very deep synergy in there going, probably. That's not great. Okay, so first Innkeeper, and then because of the treasure, I get the Voice of the Blessed in there as well. Right? Right. And then, after this, I add Broker's Hideout in there, right? To add one more life to the Voice of the Blessed bit, yeah? And then this. I probably want third planes, just in case I draw the 3 white mana angel. 4-4-2-2. Again, I don't want to risk losing the Orator. So just let's fly over them, right? I was testing a game, Army of Two seems neat. Wanna play it? Man, Army of Two. That is going back. I actually finished, I think, 2 of them. They're interesting. Like, they are simple, but they have things going for them still. But one kind of needs to have a co-op partner, though. Okay, this is where I struggle now. I can't do more than... maybe. Rune of Sustenance to Flying Voice of the Blessed, right? Alright. Not perfect. Damn, this is a good question. Do I rather pull back Righteous Valkyrie next turn, or do I just add land, which I really do need? This might be a mistake, but I really need the mana. I think I really need the mana. Okay, Vigilances, but no reaches, right? Right. The game really is kind of weirdly into losing its sound effects today. It's kind of odd. Like, it's already kind of losing those again. Maybe I should just reboot the game. Oh, hello. Tamiyo completed stage. Yeah, this probably is gonna end badly. Yeah, you don't say. Okay, so it still leaves 3 mana there, so I can do these both. Yes? Yes. Man, it's really weird when the sound effects go away, and it goes away constantly now. It wasn't this usual before. 3-3, 4-4. They have 1 white, which could... I don't know. Should I risk it? If they have a tactical block, then they can kill the Impassioned or Orator. That's really, really not great. No, I'm not gonna risk it. I don't know. That could have been a really bad mistake, but I don't... I'm always worried about them just, like, surprise adding +2/+2 or +10/+10 or whatever, which I can do as well, so... Yeah, I have much more life than they do, but it's just the game turns so quickly. Like the current sets of weird cards the people have is just it's over so fast. You know, that just cause all of the opponent's creatures to die and make them draw only land. Here we are. This is what I mean. I probably lost the game now. I'm drawing only land and that's the end. Yeah, I don't think I can recover from that. I don't know. I think I want to go for the Planeswalker just in case. Again, could be a mistake, I don't even know, but... Need to think about it, but day shift this year... Could go, be safe. Yeah, cool. Hey, Devila, have a good rest of the day shift. Night, evening shift... Have a good rest of the day, night, evening, and, be all... Hope everything goes good. Yes. Man, it's always so just... It feels so just stressful when all of this goes so slow and their hand and battlefield is full of weird and strange cards that are probably gonna end up screwing you over. But you're still in the lead, so you don't want to just concede either. This is like, Like, I honestly don't know what half of her cards do at this. Like, I just hope it's not gonna go horrible. But I'm probably gonna pull only land again twice. Yeah, 2 Planeswalkers. Yeah, they've paid a bunch of money. Yeah, I can see that. Pay to win. Awesome. Oh, great. Yeah, constantly only wrong cards. That's really, really nasty. Okay, what do I want to do? Six, eight, they don't really do much. So I do 1, 2... Man, this is worrying. Okay, so... 4, 8... Oh! Hello! Man, I need to reboot the game because these sound effects not being a thing are really, really annoying. Uh, I think it just might be the update being garbage, but like it happens before, but now it's just constantly a thing. Like when when the game has more than 3 creatures, it just loses its sound effects. Like, oh, great. Victory! Although I think again they conceded before they like it was clear. Like, yes, I was slow because I couldn't decide what to do oftentimes, but I think I was gonna draw only land, and they were gonna draw only their perfect cards, the rest of their 7 planeswalkers, and they were just gonna steamroll right through me. And I think they just didn't have faith in that being the case, but I knew it was gonna happen. So again, they conceded a game they were about to win. Yeah, it was like 86 to 6 to me, but it's just those are just life numbers. You need to go to 0, and I wasn't about to get there. Weehoo! not nerd enough for Magic. I mean, hey, I'm not lucky enough for Magic, so there we are. Storm Chaser Drake. 2 mana, creature, Drake, flying. Whenever a Storm Chaser Drake becomes the target of a spell you control, draw a card. Cool. I'll take it. Okay, really quick, I'll just reboot the game itself because it keeps having those sound glitches. I hope it's helpful. Like, maybe it works out or something. I don't even, like... fingers crossed and all that. Like, my computer oftentimes has some issues with stuff, but not this big. So, you know, we can hope and dream. So, there we are. Like, this has happened before when it's like, you know, dozens of cards on the screen. But now it's happening with really not that many, so... Okay, it should just come. There we are. But I hope you still had a good day and week and so on thus far, Blazin', and all that good stuff. Let's see. Alright, and we have the pack now. We can open a pack! Woo! Let's go! Hype! Yes. Ooh, a bunch of firsts. All around. Lovely. Flaming Fist Dusk Guard. Dwarf Soldier. When Flaming Fist Dusk Guard enters the battlefield, you get a boon with when you cast your next creature spell, it perpetually gets +1/+0. Alright. Simple-ish and decently sensible. Cloak of the Bat. Ooh, that is a cool look. I like the look. That's a day. Equipped creature has flying and haste. Simple too. Like, I don't usually do equipments. I kind of just like go straight at the thing, but still, that's one of the better looking cards I've seen in a long time. That is a look. That's like Batman, but even more like a fantasy Batman. Kinda. Pretty decent. Awesome. I like it. Like, and it's a common, so the full art version is, you know, the cheapest possible of the thing. That is so nice. Wow. Man, I may have to consider buying the full art with just coins because that is so good looking. I need to have a look at that. Soldiers of the Watch. 2 white mana, double team, 2/1. So yeah, and the double team we've gone over a few times. You basically get a copy of this card into your hand when you attack. But just once. Shambling Ghast. So this is an old card as such. It's just a re-release for this block again. Same things apparently. When Shambling Ghast dies, choose one. Either Brave the Stench, as in target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until the end of turn, or search the body, create a treasure token. And it's a 1/1 for 1 mana. Boom. Spiked Pit Trap. Artifact. 1 mana. Flash. 5 mana and tap to sacrifice Spiked Pit Trap, choose target creature, then roll a d20. 1-9, a Spiked Pit Trap deals 5 damage to that creature, and 10-20, Spiked Pit Trap deals 5 damage to that creature, create a treasure token. I always kind of... I never like it when these d20 cards don't have something special for 20. Like, I realize that it's a balance adding thing, that it's then slightly more powerful than without it, but if you're doing a D&D kind of a card theme, the 20 needs to be something extra special. You can't just have 10 to 20 is a thing. Just 20 needs to be the perfect hit and add something. Not much, just something. Like, add 0 plus 1 to, something. How's it going, Sir Creo? It's a mixed bag. I've had a lot of the problems I always go on about, and they've been really, really nasty, like, lately. But I must have faith, and there's reasonable things to reason that they are always going down and up and down and up, and it's not like always worse. So just I need to try and keep try to de-stress and trust that things will end up going fine, and the bad things and bad health stuff will end up being easier again, as they have in the past. I've dealt with my health stuff for years, and it just goes up and down. And not always just worse, just up and down, But how are you doing? I hope you've been doing well. Lapis Orb of Dragonkind artifact, 3 blue mana. Tap to add blue mana, one of them, and when you spend this mana to cast a dragon creature spell, scry 2. Interesting. That's a curious thing, like, that kind of leads to believe that maybe there's a sensible dragon deck in a bit of blue, which is always nice. Mind Spike, 1 black mana sorcery. Target opponent reveals each non-creature, non-land card in their hand. You choose a card revealed this way. That player discards that card. You lose 2 life. If they didn't reveal a card this way, you draw a card. Right. Okay. So they reveal only non-creature, non-land cards. So like enchantments, auras, runes, shrines, instant sorceries. Don't remember if lesson cards can be in hand, but yeah, those sorts of things apparently. All right, it's a cheap thing for sure. That helps. Oh, I saw this in the mastery trees. Wilson Bear Comrade, legendary creature, Bear Warrior, reach, trample, ward 2, and specialize 4. It'll take a number of time for me to fully understand the specializing. So basically you can use the specializing cost, which here is 4, to change this into one of these 5, which have these slight color differences, and they have like, usually green is trample, and red is apparently in this case double strike, and reach and trample. Wait, hold on. What is the other? Oh, wait, they're all somewhat green. Okay, so the fully green is exile it from your graveyard for 3 mana, and target creature you control perpetually gets +1/+1 and gains reach, trample, and ward 2. Okay, so you can like, if it's dead, you can transfer its abilities into a different creature. Okay, cool. And the white green one is lifelink. And no, hold on. Even that is the same thing. Okay, so the full green one is just stronger. Okay. And then the white green has lifelink. Blue green is can't be blocked. Have to head to bed. I'll have a tab up for you. Thank you, Marky, and thank you for the raid once more. I'm so just saddened, but that I so rarely end my streams in a time, apparently, like lately, when I could raid you back. But I will get a chance one day, and I'm going to, I swear. Thank you for the raid once more. It really, really helps. Like, I am a tiny streamer with, like, I probably am doing something wrong because I don't really grow and all of that stuff, but I'm, I'm glad everyone, like, other people have had success that I know, because I know they deserve it. And I thank you so much for trying to help little old me gain some average viewing other than 2. So thank you once more. Hope your sleep goes good and all that good stuff. And I swear one day I will raid you back. I will just... One day it will happen when I get a chance to. And thank you again. And have excellent, excellent sleeps. Right. Okay, so... The blue one can't be blocked. The black one, Menace. And the red one, Double Strike. Beyond that, it's always Reach, Trample, and Ward 2. And for different types of mana costs, they can apparently transfer their ability to a different creature on the battlefield if they have been killed and moved to the graveyard. Apparently, that's basically what it is. Apart from Ward, unless it's full green, apparently. Yeah. Alright, so the full green has basically more power, and that's the Ward. The other colors have a different extra ability beyond that. Okay, this is... I'm starting to get around to understanding this. Oh, and Specialize 4, but also you need to... I believe you need to, discard a card. It doesn't say it here, but I believe it says so in the collection. I can try and show you. Hold on. At least I think one of the other ones did. So Wilson. Not the volleyball Wilson, but this thing. Come on. There you go. Or apparently not. There was one specializing thing that... hold on. Maybe it was in the mastery tree? Now I'm confused again. Here. Specialize 2 with Shadowheart, Cleric of Graves sees choose a color, discard a card of that color or associated basic land type. This creature perpetually specializes into that color, activate only as a sorcery. Right. So that's Specialize 2 with him. Or her, whatever. What about Wilson, then? Yeah, here. Wilson, Specialize 4, choose a color, discard a card that's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, same thing, right? So it says so here, but it doesn't say so in the collection bit. That is weird. Like, it's pretty important information, right? Surely. Wizards might want to look into this. Like, it doesn't say anything about the discarding of card here. That is weird. Not even in here. Huh. Okay, what if you do it in the like deck builder then? Does it show it there? Surely you must. No. Why? Okay. I'm confused by this. I don't... Either I'm not understanding something that happens in or... Okay, one more thing. Let's check if the A symbol that's like on the bottom of the card here. Let's check if that is visible in the Mastery Tree version. Is like that the difference? Nope, it's here too. So only this version of this only this visual or this spot of the card tells you that it actually requires you to discard a card to do Specialize. I think this is a really big oversight. Either here is a mistake, or they need to tell that information to the player to actually play the game. That is not okay. Wizards of the Coast, you might want to just look into this, yes? With like a two hands and do some coding, because this is no good, right? Or am I misunderstanding this? This seems not good. Is no good, as the children's cartoon from the 90s, or yeah, yes, is no good. Very good, that one. I liked it. Or actually, I read mostly the comics, and I saw like a few episodes here and there of the like cartoon. The intro was bonkers good. All right. Okie dokie. So, right. Okay. Anyway. Can I... Okay, so it didn't like leave a weird not started thing. Okay, good. Yeah. Lovely. Alright. Okay, so now I wonder if I should... what was the name of that card that I... Oh boy. I should have remembered the name of the card that I really appreciated in that. Okay, let's try to narrow it down. So not collected. I don't think I have it, but let's just... Okay, so not collected. White, green. Scry. It had Scry. Here, right? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, draw a card instead. It's a little expensive, but this could be a really good idea. Also, I don't need to apparently do not collect it, actually. I can just do it like so. Huh. The one minus is it's 1 mana heavier than, for example, Trelasara, but still. And there is the thing that I believe it only happens like 1 and 1, but still. Okay, so what are the options I have? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. So should I, for example, change Colossal Majesty away for this, maybe? Because Colossal Majesty needs the 4-powered one to work. It usually ends up working, but not always. Whereas when this works, there is... But what if I... wait. Here's the thing, though. I really love the notion of drawing a card, but let's think on this, right? How often do I actually put at least 2 creatures on the battlefield, though? My, like, system usually operates on a 1 to 3 mana area to actually get its thing going. Obviously, if I get lucky, I can have more, but my usual cost starts and ends with no more than 3 mana. That's not a great amount of turns where I get 2 people on the battlefield, though. It's useful for other people who like add a million billion 1/1 card tokens or something, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, it might not be as good for me as I thought it could be, but still, it's good to check on these things. Alright. With that said, I'm probably gonna still continue streaming, but I need a quick bathroom break, and I'll also call the YouTube recording here, so don't worry, I'll do an outro here, but I'll keep on streaming, probably, so don't panic. But if you are watching this on YouTube, If you have, and if you've enjoyed, I hope you've enjoyed. And if you have, please do drop a like or a comment or even subscribe or share if you want to, because it would truly help the algorithm notice my tiny channel. And thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.